Today, all major stations around noon reported Rigathi Gachagua, Geoffrey Rigathi Gachagua, asking the president if he has if by any way he has wronged him, please find it in your heart to forgive me. We have some people, especially overzealous people, who will interpret that by saying either the apology is not genuine or it is not emotional enough. Whatever it is, whatever Rigathi Gachagua had in his heart, there are only two people who know the truth. That is the Almighty God and Gachagua himself. I would request the president to pick it up before Tuesday. I'd request the president to organize for a two-man meeting where there is no third party and the only two people there are the president and his deputy. Let the president give the deputy address down where there is no third person. Let him place him in his own place. I know there are some people who will rush and say, oh, sijui nini nini. No. Let him tell that. So that as from today, things start working well. Well, it will not work well because in the first place, this incident was not even supposed to be there. They say that the minute you lose quarreling, fighting, and so on, is a minute you have wasted that you'd have used in a better place. And once you have discovered, because when you are fighting the two of you, nobody's winning. I can tell you. Yes, I used to like fighting. I even used to be called Masambula in West Pokot. The reason for being called Masambula is that there was a wrestler called Masambula. Masambula never lost a fight. The Masambula from Gambia never lost a fight, and the Masambula in me never lost a fight. I used to fight and win. So nowadays, I'm wiser. Avoid fights. Today, I only fight the fightings that are necessary. I only fight fights that I've tried to walk away. Because at the end of it, if I lose the fight, I'll always convince myself that I tried twice or thrice not to fight, but I was forced into it. Imagine you entering into a fight, people stop you and you don't, and then it later ends up that you lose. You lose a fight that you started. And as I've said also, that when you fight, even if you win, you have lost. Because the minute that you spend fighting is a minute that you should have used in productive ways. Hata kukaa tu, kurelax na kusikiza Lingala music, that is good for your health. I would also advise the president to take it up, because the way these things were going on, I knew from day one that Gachagua would lose. Many people have tried to mirror it on Ruto's problems that he had when he was at Karen. But you see, no two fights are the same. Even if I am to fight you, I fighting you, we fighting here, no two fights are the same. One is different from another. So we could not just say that since Ruto was whatever, and that is what, no. It is, the circumstances do happen differently. Even if Uhuru was going to be on his third term and Ruto was to be the deputy, their fights would still not be the same. And then as this fight was going on, you can see it was bringing in other unnecessary things. To an extent, there were these topics that kufa dereva, kufa makanga. You see, even those people who started, those MPs who started signing that, I'm sure there are some things, most likely including kufa makanga, kufa dereva, they didn't know that such a thing could come. So there is that ripple effect. And once you have found yourself in a fight, the question is, which is the most appropriate time? Which is the most appropriate time to disentangle? And I can tell you that even just starting the fight in the first place was unnecessary. But then you cannot take care of the past. You take care of the present and the future. Now that you have found yourself in the mud, which is the most appropriate time to come out? And that is Tuesday? No, that is Sunday before Tuesday, 48 hours before the motion is moved to Parliament. Whatever has happened, it has weakened forever. It has weakened the position of deputy president. Remember, during Uhuru Kenyatta's first term, Ruto was a co-president. Ruto was a co-president. Now things are moving to such an extent that future deputy presidents will be the president's PA. This one, I think I will blame Gachagua, because Gachagua had some teeth. He had some teeth. But once they meet before Tuesday and they have one-on-one situation, and Gachagua is now publicly forgiven, expect to find a different Gachagua from Tuesday. He is going to be muoga. What do you call that in English? It's going to be muoga. He is going to be very careful on how to talk to the press. He complained that those around the president do order him. There's even a time he said that the fact that you work in the president's office, or the fact that you are the president's personal friend, does not mean that you'll now order me around and whatever. Expect, after him being forgiven, that these people will now order him even more. He is going to be a vice president. If those who are old enough remember Vice President Moi, he's going to be even mwoga kushinda Daniel Arap Moi. So the ball is in the president's court, and I recommend and I expect him to utilize that. And I know him. The impression I have of him is that he's a political squirrel or political sungura mjanja. He can take that opportunity, and yes, so far he has kept quiet. I think it is the best opportunity now to take that opportunity and forgive him after dressing him down. People are saying if his attitude towards Raila Amolo Odinga has changed so drastically, so is the change that Nani should have. And also, I expect him to cease with these things of, I've already said it before, he carelessly talks to the press without knowing the repercussion of what he's saying. This thing about shareholding, I think he should stop talking about shareholding in public and maybe use it in private. Remember, he was tricked, and I've recorded that already, that the first lot of the cabinet, of the 21 cabinet, 10 were, and he went, imagine, he went around and started boasting before the other list came out. People are complaining that out of the initial 10, 7 were from the mountain. And he went around and saying, you see, so long as I've taken interest of the mountain, I don't care. He has also unknowingly and with due respect, foolishly walked into a trap. If you know the history of one William Samoei Arap Ruto, aka Kipchirchir, he has undertaken to demolish all regional and tribal kings. As we talk now, the only person who fits that definition is only Kalonzo Musyoka. Any other person cannot do that. Now, again, turning back to Ruto and trying to establish yourself as a mountain king, that was very bad. Even a cabinet secretary is not supposed to be regional. That is why we used to have cabinet ministers who were MPs. And the constitution came that they should resign their MPship so that they concentrate on the national issues. He may have tried to grow up his teeth, but what he has done is that the next occupiers of the current mansion will be toothless deputy prime ministers. Deputy president. He has also given Ruto an opportunity. You see, if this thing would not have ended up in a truce, Ruto would have even had a bigger problem. Ruto would have even been a bigger problem, because how do you take the cabinet secretary for internal security bypassing the prime cabinet secretary? So you'd find that if Ruto was to continue with the impeachment and Gachagua is impeached, there'll be a problem on who to take as the deputy. You take Kindiki, the mountain still will say, Kikuyus would have failed, maybe you would have taken another Kikuyu. Luhyas and other tribes would want Musalia Mudavadi to be there because they would not want him to be bypassed, and also it would be opening up an opportunity. Remember, since independence, the only people who have occupied the State House have been from two tribes, Gema and Kalenjin. So you find that placing there Musalia would have tried to open a chance for other tribes as such a thing. I think what has now happened is that they will now continue that way, and then they'll continue that way until the next election. And the way things have happened, the way they have quarreled, you remember Ruto even addressed a women's meeting where he said that he will sweet talk Gachagua so that in 2027 his running mate becomes is a woman. His running mate is a woman. So the way things have happened, even with the full forgiveness and whatever, there is no way Gachagua is going to be on the ballot paper with Ruto. It is now an opportunity that it will be now an opportunity now for Gachagua now to have a good exit. And if I were to advise Ruto, I would say that look for a lady, and look for a younger lady to be your running mate, so that next time the next president is a generation after you. I don't know. The name Gladys Wanga is propping up. The name Gladys Wanga is propping up. That one would be counter coup, because it will have meant that the next president most likely will be outside the Kalenjin Gema tribal nini, and then again it will be a lady, and she's very young. She's very young. Women don't talk about their ages, but if you ask me, I put her to be the same age as Isaac Mwaura, because they were at the university at the same time. So that is how, and I've said that, if you can remember very well, from the first video, actually I was even trying to regret, because I had said that from my first video, I had said that there is no way Ruto, whom I always call a political squirrel, Sungura Mjanja, there is no way that he could antagonize the mountain in that way. But from this thing, the way they are going, I think it will be just obvious that the running mate would be not be Gachagua, but somebody else. Just imagine, take it from me. Because of how things have happened, now a reason has been found, or an excuse has been found why Gachagua would not be the running mate in 2027. And if somebody like Gladys Wanga now comes up, and she becomes the running mate, there is a lot of things, a lot of points would be taken there. That she's younger, a generation after us. Two, she's away from the game Kalenjin group, and also from Nyanza province, and so on and so on. So I think in that way, Ruto will have a, what do you call? Ruto will have a walkover in 2027. I think from now, he should forget about this thing about talking of shareholding and Mrima. Lastly, it was unfortunate for him to say, when he was asking for forgiveness, it was wrong for him to have said, if the Pastor Dorcas had done anything wrong in the boy child thing, then for her behalf, I seek for forgiveness. I think that is a stupid comment, and it should not have been made that. I would also want to say that I come from, I can claim to be coming from near these two people, because Ruto's original home, people just say Sugoi. Ruto's original home is a place called Osorongai. You can call it Osorongai, you can call it Kamasai, you can call it Chepterwai, so those names. No, not Chepterwai. But you can call it Kamasai, you can call it Osorongai. There is a river there called Osorongai. As it goes down, it becomes Silungai. The river Silungai touches on my land, the land that I'll be buried on. So we are neighbors, a place called Manda. And I'm also neighbors with the Gachagua, because my mother is buried at a place called Kayaba. Kayaba is just not far from, actually, if Nani wakes up, Rigathi Gachagua wakes up and takes a vehicle to Nairobi, after 2 to 3 villages, he passes near my, you see, dead people don't hear, but if they hear, she would even hear his vehicle passing through. So, but coincidentally being that, I would just say that Ruto has been, the ball now is in Ruto's court, and that is the best time to act and so on. The loser here is the rank and position of deputy president. You see, some of these things, they are defined in law, but you may find that things are defined in law, but when it comes to practicability, practicability makes it such that things don't happen that way. The first occupier of that position was Ruto in 2013 to 2017, and he was practically a co-president. But the way I'm seeing it, whoever will be taken in as a deputy president in 2027 to 2032 will be a PA to the Ruto second term.